Hello and welcome. This is Ronnie. In this video, I would like to spend a few minutes talking about what I would call my philosophy, my approach to the markets, to trading, so that you can have an idea what is behind the presentation of my work. I am a firm believer in the attempt to marry fundamentals and technicals. I think that fundamentals on their own are great, but they could be greater if we combine them with technicals, greater in the sense of yielding practical results fairly quickly, rather than having a long series of hit and miss, which is also possible even if you just use technicals. But fundamentals are absolutely essential. They set the stage for very long-term trends. You want to know everything you can about the fundamentals, about the forces that are operating, the scope and the extent of the forces in play. You want to think about the consequences and the repercussions of these forces going full scale over time. Long-term moves also have the psychological aspect. For example, you have many institutions that are slow to change their policies, but they do change their policies when the environment changes to the extent that they cannot ignore. And when I say cannot ignore, of course it depends on the status, the scale of operations, but they do change. So what happens is that you have, let's say, a first blast, a big change that is gone unnoticed by the majority of the players and ignored, because most people are very happy with the status quo. And then you have the initial players that go into developing this trend, whether they like it or not, whether under necessity or not, it doesn't matter. The move is underway. The move is underway, and slowly, it is receiving more and more converts. Again, most likely by necessity. And the big players are joining when it reaches a certain critical mass that the operations just are being affected to the extent that they have to change. So what I'm trying to say is that it is a psychological procedure, if you like, of getting people first to convert the ignorance or the avoidance tactics into recognition of reality, recognition of the changes, and then actually going to taking the step of actually taking action and doing something about it. So institutions to the in a various degrees, the smaller, the bigger, etc., they all act, they all enter into the game at different times, and this in itself is guaranteeing a certain momentum to long-term trends. Now, talking about fundamentals, one thing that can be very frustrating, I would imagine, sitting in front of a brilliant set of panel of economists who are very knowledgeable about what's going on. They could really enlighten you about so many aspects of things that take place now in the economy and things that are likely to take place in the next several months and years. And you walk out of a 3-hour lecture and you say to yourself, wow, I wish I knew that there are so many interesting things out there, but at least you feel so much wiser after the lecture. But at the end of the day, you say to yourself, well, how am I going to put all this into practical, take the practical side, how I'm going to make money out of it tomorrow? How can I start making money out of it tomorrow? Well, in many cases, you are left with this mass of information and not much guidance as to the very practical and immediate stages that you can take. And that's where we have to allow the technicals to take their share in our philosophy. The technicals, I would say, are like the direct guides on the battlefield. They help us to time and focus on our entry and exit. I employ chiefly few tools. There is no point spreading yourself thin and using 50 tools, because it can do more harm than good. There are several tools that I've come to appreciate their usefulness. In my particular case, I see the Elliott Wave principle as an excellent tool for reading the movement of the market, and I would also use and focus a lot on the analysis of the support and resistance. I'm a firm believer that support and resistance are there to be noticed and analyzed and observed carefully as the price action is relating to a certain level of resistance. The price action is actually talking to us. He's telling us this is easy for me to penetrate, this is difficult for me to penetrate, and it is, in fact, it is registering for us on the screen. In the price action itself, it's registering to us its ability to continue forward or to stay in place, march in place for whatever length of time is necessary for the market to accumulate the force necessary to overcome that obstacle or not. There are situations, of course, the market is meeting such a strong selling or buying force that is unable to make headway. I would use often the MACD. The MACD in its simplest form. I find that the MACD can be immensely useful. I know it's a popular tool, but I am not sure that all participants are using it to the extent that it can be used. I've learned a lot from the courses of Dale Weekly. I've followed quite a few of his courses, and I have a lot of appreciation for his work. I've hopefully managed to apply some of his lessons in my analysis. I was also reading the work of, besides quite a few current analysts. One analyst quite some time ago in the US called Don Vodopich used to write a newsletter called Precision Timing. Precision Timing is at the time he's not writing it anymore, and I'm unable to find him anywhere. I hope he's okay. I don't know what happened. He stopped writing, but he used to say all things. He used to quote some sentences on top of his newsletter, give some quotations, and one of them that appeared frequently was all things come to he who has patience. And at the end of the day, trading, no matter which tool you are using, trading is our ability also to control our urges, to control our greed, to control our ability to execute, and to wait for the very best setup of the risk reward. It's basically our ability to exercise patience, and this is a skill that you learn only over time, how to deal with your disposition towards the market. And these things, of course, I can allude to. I can and I do often warn you of not throwing yourself headlong into a position, even though it looks so exciting and so interesting. It is better to wait for a correction. It is better to wait for a setup, etc. But I hope I can influence you in some way, because otherwise you can get swapped by seeing an impulse wave, and it often happens that we wait and wait. And I share my own failures with you. No one is immune to these urges from time to time, but over time you get to master them better and better. So I also read a lot of research, mainly by fundamentalists who do fundamental analysis. I humbly recognize that I cannot have all the insights, and reading interesting analysis by intelligent people is always something that I like to do. I also follow people who use a lot of statistical models, people who use a huge computing power to try to crack the smoke screen of the market action and to detect patterns that appeared decades ago and might be repeating themselves now. I'm also a firm believer in the concept that everything is connected. Everything is connected in the world, even though our brain is too small and too ineffective in trying to connect all the dots of the things that are turning around us. Nevertheless, in recent decades, we have all of us, down to the most layman in the street, all of us, the more educated, the less educated, we are all fully aware how things are so connected with electronics that we have now, with the communication system that we have now. We know that if something big happens in one continent, it is going to have a lot of effect, influence on our continent, even if we are very far. Economic influence, military influence, whatever is the shock that took place in that faraway place, that shock is going to reverberate, is going to have repercussions where we live, it's going to reach us. I would sum up basically the presentation that I have here by saying that I do not keep anything to myself when I present to you my work. I share with you all my insights. I welcome you comments and thoughts, and in this way I hope that I can provide you with the fullest demonstration of the thought processes that I have in my mind, that hopefully can be helpful in getting some practical results and not being left with some excellent theoretical models and theoretical ideas, but things that at the end of the day do not affect your bank account in any way. So that is all for this presentation of my philosophy. Bye now.